Right.
The action.
Well, yeah, whenever I joined, it was like, wait, there's two screens. Who else?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and assume that Chad can hear us. And that okay, there we go. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's good. Just in case I miss anything. This is my first time with 2-screen experience, so
Yeah, that's why I've been nervous about going live, is trying to read at the same time, and
yeah, might be a little too much to juggle.
right.
But cool. Well, I think it's 7:01. If they're not here by now, they'll straggle in here. It's not a big deal. Hey, welcome everybody to the live stream here tonight. Special guest again is Robo from the Fwoosh. Robo, how you doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good. Not bad. You just came home from a family barbecue. I was like, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go talk on the internet.
Nice.
So,
nice. Have you been able to connect with your family in person?
Yeah. Like I do live in the woods, but the family lives in those woods, so we're kind of around. We don't have to travel for any of that.
That's good. Yeah, most of my family is further away, so it's and just everybody's taking precautions and trying to be as careful as possible about interactions and stuff, and just trying to be smart.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're not smart.
Well, fun. Well, it was only a few of us, and we're not leaving the property hardly anyway. So
yeah, and that's sort of what it boils down to. Producer Greg and I have hung out a few times. Obviously we got to shoot the show together, all that stuff. So I know that he's a hermit. I'm a hermit. Everybody's hermiting. So
it's not that big a change lately.
Yeah.
Kind of used to. Well, I sure would like to go to a convention sometime, but
that's killing me. Is last weekend was really super nice out, and it's flea market season, and we usually have a couple of really good flea markets within a few hours drive. We've probably got between 7-8 flea markets that are really, really good for vintage stuff, new, not too old modern stuff, just people doing new, but it's mostly old stuff. And it's just last weekend it was like 65 degrees, 70 degrees, and you're like, man, I'm supposed to be at a flea market right now.
Yeah, hanging out, buying toys. Yeah, just I don't know how. It may be a while before I want to hang out with lots and lots of people, but I like being out among the people.
Yeah, I want to go dig. I want to go dig
through
boxes. I want to find stuff weird, crazy. What's at the bottom of this cardboard box that's got old ramen packets in it and shoes and whatever else. And here's a Star Wars figure.
Among McDonald's toys and other stuff, and even those are kind of neat to see. And I remember these. I don't need them, but it's cool to see.
Yeah, and that's whenever we go out to the flea market, I'm always like, I just want to see some stuff I haven't seen in a while. There's nothing particular I'm looking for. Yeah, of course, I'd love to pick up another Boba Fett or something, but it's always like it's that weird stuff that I just I forgot about it, or it's just I haven't seen one in 5-10 years. Those are the kind of things that I really get excited about. Do you guys have flea markets in your area there?
The toys are fewer and far between than old beds and furniture and plates and and comic books here and there. But it's still fun to go because I usually find stuff that this will go in my kitchen. I remember these from the 70s, but not as many toys.
Yeah. It's it used to be, and when I say used to, probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it used to be a lot better, but there's way too many people that are in the eBay game now. And if you don't get there at 3-4 a.m. and set up, stake out your spot and, interview people coming in, you got any toys? It's like, I don't know.
Well, that's a good thing about it around here. There's not a lot of people. So when there is stuff in flea market, it's been sitting there for years. Or somebody brought it in and they've been holding on to it for years.
Yeah.
But
now, I don't know if you've ever heard of the world's longest yard sale. It runs like sort of right through the middle of the United States, and I can't remember the actual highway that it's on, but it's basically this one week where everybody just yard sales it up, and it's just miles upon miles upon miles upon miles of yard sales. And my wife really wants to go do it at some point, and I'm like, how do you even plan to do something like that? Do you pick a state? Do you pick a city? And you're just like, this is all we can cover, because I'm gonna take at least an hour at the first yard sale. Just looking.
And by the 10th, you're like, I don't even see anything. Drive on by.
Yeah. You haven't even left a city, much less a state.
Man, I can't imagine a whole line. We have something like that around here, and it spans at least a couple of our towns, but I don't know how far it goes beyond that. Never went actually looking.
Yeah.
Deals galore on 64 is what it's called.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah.
My wife just said she's looking that up right now.
Yeah. I don't know. It may be just a local thing, but
everything's got a Facebook page now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In fact, that's been a couple of years. I don't know.
Yeah. It's eBay's just not as fun, like Craigslist is still out there, but you never know you're going to meet on Craigslist. And I haven't checked Craigslist in forever, especially since this stuff has started. It's just like, what are you going to do?
Go meet people in parking lots or at their house to pick stuff up. Yeah.
So it's been tough. And that's sort of been my story of, being in self-isolation, quarantine, whatever term you want to use, is the sort of disconnect from my regular collecting habits and my regular toy buying habits. It's Walmart and Target and stuff, those places are still open, but it's like, take Toys R Us out of the picture because that's gone. Now get into this lockdown. You can't do yard sales, can't do flea markets, can't do Craigslist. It's like eBay is just not the same. I watch your play dates. And I'm like, all right, he looks like he's having fun.
And that's mostly eBay and, finding, Facebook and Instagram. I'm finding a lot of stuff on Instagram.
So at this point, are you getting people sort of flagging you and saying like, hey, this is the kind of thing that, you dig, custom this, custom that, or are you really seeking out the custom stuff?
I really seek it out. I mean, sometimes somebody will tag me, and that's why I'm liking Instagram more and more. They'll just tag me in a picture, and then I go digging for stuff I want to see, because, I mean, people want to send me stuff, and I thought, if it's not what I do, then I'd hate to, be like, oh, where's this? I don't know what it is. But so I usually go digging, finding stuff. And eBay has been terrible the past month or two.
Yeah. No, I usually watch your Playday videos with my, my phone in my hand, like follow this link.
Yeah.
That's still available.
Oh man, so many people doing so much good work out there. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy, and it can get away from you real quick. Every figure you're like, I need a custom cape for all of these figures. I need custom claw, custom head. I need a custom. It gets out of control real fast.
And if it's something to just change a character, like I just got a T-shirt for my roadblock, but now I need another roadblock to keep with the vest on. So I get the cool Playday stuff, but then I end up buying more toys for the Playday stuff.
Yeah, no, I can relate to that. I understand. I know what you're going through.
It's an avalanche.
Yeah, well, and even things as little as like I just picked up the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, the Blaze figure, and it's like great line. I love it. Good articulation. The design is good. But that character has these little like rivets, like little buttons, silver buttons all over his outfit. I mean, they're like on his gloves, or on his boots, or on his shirt, jacket, whatever it is. And I want to say they sculpted 100% of them, but they painted like 40% of them.
Oh, yeah.
So there's these little rivets all over him, and I'm just like, I can't not paint those. But I also still want to have an unaltered figure.
Yeah.
So what do?
You buy two. That's
yeah.
I can't remember. Oh yeah, I got that same figure.
It is, yeah.
Because it looks like, the unmasked head looks like, who was the red motorcycle guy on Mask? The villain? It turned into a jet.
Yeah. Vampire was his vehicle. He looked like Billy Idol, and
yeah. But now I need somebody to make a custom mask so I can, custom that body.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I bought a Power Ranger.
I can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now. No, it's not.
Anyway. Piranha. I can't remember the other dude's name.
Flyrax was Piranha.
Yeah.
But Vampire was, if I wasn't running a show, I would be able to come up with it
on the spot.
I'll sit up in bed tonight at 4 a.m. His name was
I'm kind of watching the chat to wait for somebody to pop it up on the
Floyd Malloy. That's it. Good job.
That's it.
Thank you, Gaposaurus. Whether you Googled it or not, I don't care.
Yeah, it's the answer.
So I watched your weekly this morning, and last couple of weeks you've kicked off with the Spawn Kickstarter and the various just trying to doing your best, trying to keep track of what exactly the status of that thing is.
It's too crazy. It's like looking into Todd's brain and kind of swimming around when he doesn't even know what's going on up there.
Yeah,
it's chaos.
Yeah, and I know that the strategy for a lot of Kickstarters is to set your goal a little bit lower than what you actually want. You want to get that funded algorithm to kick in so it starts referring you. Maybe you make that front page, all that stuff. So I'm guessing 100K was a little bit lower than he actually thought he would need, but that was enough to say, like, all right, this is a success. We'll get 125. We get enough figures out, and we'll be able to follow it up with another one. There's no way that dude thought he was going to get $3.5 million.
You had to. I mean, going by that logic, even if he thought, well, I may have to kick some money in order to get this produced,
Yeah.
Or I'm just doing this to show that retailers that there's interest in this property. But yeah, when it funded in 12 minutes and then just
I didn't see when the actual funded number was. Okay, 12 minutes. All right.
Yeah, 12 minutes. And then it just kept going. Yeah. I was watching it in the last 50 minutes and it gained another $200,000, I think, something like that.
Yep.
There's no way you can plan for that. And that's why I think along the way, he's just like, oh, I'll just keep throwing stuff in.
Well, and that's the thing. And I felt like it was, it's nice to have that sort of insight into his actual process or their process and the reality of what they were planning for. I think they had like maybe 2 or 3, like, if we hit, 200K, we'll do this. We hit 300K, we'll do this. And then once it started to hit 500, 750, $1 million, I really think they were just like scrambling. Like, what can we do?
Well, it almost seemed like, well, I know for sure. Because did you talk to any of the reps or anything at Toy Fair?
I talked to a couple of the reps and I talked to Todd himself about the actual starter.
Yeah, because it almost seemed like, well, we're going to do this. It's just an idea. Don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Because I didn't talk to Todd. I talked to the reps and they were kind of, he wants to do this. We're still working it out. And I feel like because it was more like add-ons. It wasn't tiers. It wasn't whatever they call it, stretch goals.
Yeah, stretch goals, incentives. And he was very, I don't know if you read through any of the comments. He addressed that himself a couple of times saying, look, this isn't about trying to pull you along to get you to contribute more money. This is about, we already know what we planned. It's already in the manufacturing process. This is one of the only action figure Kickstarters I've ever been a part of where he was like, here's the like test shot, we're moving along already. It's due in November.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so much about trying to incentivize people to contribute more money. McFarlane Toys already exists. He's already got his factory. He's already got his designers. He's already got a whole staff. He's got the DC license. This isn't about trying to get Todd Toys off the ground, So it was frustrating to read the comments and see people asking for those kinds of incentives when it was just like, this is just free stuff.
Yeah, it's free stuff that he would add after the fact. It was like, we passed this, let's do this.
Yeah, and then the back and forth between the people who were like, all of this stuff should have been included from the beginning, and then the people who were like, shouldn't we get something extra because we pledged so early when there was nothing included? And I'm like, good God, people, it's not a catalog, It's
yeah. And then some people are turned off because he went to Kickstarter. He's a company. He could have. But I guess from Todd's point of view, this is way less risk. I mean, if the people want it, buy it now and then go into production.
Of course.
It feels like win-win all the way around.
if he had put up just a straight pre-order, like the figures were done, you know, the packaged whatever, and they just need to know, are we ordering 10,000 or are we ordering 50,000? If he had just put up a straight pre-order, there's no way he sells as many figures.
No. And but at the same time, now that you mention it, that I never thought of, he had a sample, right? I mean, he didn't tool that up and get it produced in 2 weeks.
No. So that's what I'm saying is at this point, it was the figure was already in production. It was more a matter of like, how many of these are we doing? And any of the changes that were made along the way here were cosmetic, you know, as far as like additional accessories, paint the face instead of unpainted, you know.
So, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because there was so much to think about during this process.
Well, and it's, you know, right out of the gate, the delivery was, you know, November. It's May.
Again,
you know?
That's a quick turnaround, because what they say, they usually say 9 months from concept to out the door.
Yeah. So, you know, in having followed, you know, Mythic Legions and Boss Fight and Marauder Task Force and some of these other Kickstarters, even, you know, Toy Pizza, Spiro Toys, all this stuff, you know, conception to delivery is between 18 months and 2 years. And whenever I see a toy Kickstarter pop up and they're saying even within a year, I'm like, no way.
We had a date that we, you know, it blew past for, I don't remember how far we actually went past it, but yeah, that's just the way it is with smaller guys.
Yeah. I don't want to dig too much into that history, but I don't recall you guys being that late.
No, it wasn't like super late, but I don't think it met the exact date that we wanted.
Yeah.
But that's just dealing with kind of a amateur, don't know what factories do and how to deal with factories. And there was a learning curve.
Yeah. Now, had you guys spoken with anybody else who had been, or did you source your own factory? Was that something that you?
That was through some of the guys we knew. So, I mean, that was a Gentle Giant type thing. So it's a little ahead of the curve there, but still dealing with getting it shipped in and going through warehouses and shipping, and that was a process.
Yeah, I'm sure. And that's obviously there are Kickstarters that are yet to deliver. Absolute nightmare scenarios, you know. I
can't even imagine. But Todd's way ahead of that curve.
And that's the thing. He's well-established factories, well-established with his designers and how to deliver the product. And it was neat to watch to watch them design stuff as people were suggesting it. We want necro effects. And he's like, okay, here's like 4. You know?
Four different ones. On the last day, he showed them.
Yeah. And that was, it was really neat to be able to see that part of the process. I just think it's fun. And, you know, I try to keep an open mind going to Kickstarters. It is not a catalog. It's you're trying to help a business. This was different because McFarlane Toys is already well established.
Yeah.
But even then, you know, in talking to McFarlane at Toy Fair about it, I thought it was a great idea because what's not good about it for me, the guy who just wants a Spawn figure? I don't care. Do whatever you want.
And in 12 minutes, you're guaranteed a Spawn figure.
Yeah. At the time, I still hadn't picked up the MK11 one, so I was like, well, at least I'm getting a Spawn figure this year.
Yeah. Have you picked that up since?
I did. And, you know, it's funny. I had pre-ordered it. My pre-order technically is still out there. I can't remember who I pre-ordered. I think I pre-ordered it through Amazon maybe. But I was finally like, you know what? There's one on eBay for like $40. I'm just going to buy it because I'm tired of waiting. And, you know, at this point, you know, I'm dropping 50 on the Kickstarter. And then, you know, I'm like 40 for this just to be done with the hassle to make sure I get one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a top 10 figure. So
you did go in for at least one on the Kickstarter.
On the Kickstarter, yeah. I just went in for one classic.
Yeah. Are you? What's your thoughts on the bent torso?
I don't care.
Okay.
And maybe it's me having, you know, just been a consumer of action figures with absolutely no input and no control for so long that I'm just fine going along with like, whatever you want to do, just let me know. And then I'll put it on my shelf when I get it. Like, so what, you know, when the Kickstarter starts and he's got a plastic cape and, no necro effects and the bent torso and stuff, I just go, okay, that's what it is.
At least this time around, and the way he explained it's how it's an homage to that first figure. I can understand the thinking, but again, in my head, I want a vanilla pose to start with and go from there. Let me do it. But I understand the rationale.
So I think he is still, and I think he went through a little crash course in direct contact with the fans, the hyper really interested fans. You know, he went through a little crash course in those comments. I haven't seen a Kickstarter get 10K comments before.
Oh. I didn't dig too deep into the comments. I would read people talking about the comments, but I didn't want to get too far into it.
Yeah, and I think he's between the stuff that he just put out for the DC license and this Spawn Kickstarter, I think he got a wealth of information in direct feedback from the fans as far as what they're looking for in action figures and how they move, and the Fortnite stuff as well. How they work, how they move, how they function, because he was still trying to make his case for every action figure comes in this boring nothing pose. You know, we want to give you something different. And it's like, well, everybody here is telling you that that's not what they want.
Which at the same time, it's already in the millions of dollars by the time you're telling somebody. Yeah. And I guess from a company aspect, there's $1 million worth of other people that are okay with what they're looking at.
And that's the thing. Like when that figure was at Toy Fair, and it was not articulated, it was just a statue, just like classic McFarlane toys. I was like, that's cool. That's what you're kickstarting? Pretty neat. I'll go in for that. And then he was like, well, it's going to be articulated. And I was like, okay, whatever.
See, it sounds like he had way more information than his reps did at Toy Fair. Because the Toy Fair, or the people I talked to, it was like, don't know. Todd will do what Todd wants to do when it comes time.
Yeah, I'm sure there was somebody standing nearby him with a notepad, like, okay, it's articulated. Yeah, he said yes. You know?
and everyone can do such a perfect Todd impression. All his people.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, he was our interview. If you haven't seen our interview, it's available on our patreon.com/toygalaxy. So you can go check it out there. I managed to, have 5-10 minutes with him to be able to talk to him. And that's tough. I'm sure you've experienced it to some degree with some of these people where, I was a huge comic book collector forever. Some of the first comic books that I owned, that I bought with my own money, that got me into comics were Todd McFarlane comics. Spider-Man 299, 300, that whole initial run on Spider-Man, all that stuff. The Batman cover from Batman, I guess, just Detective Comics. Mm-hmm. The early Hulk stuff, that was when I was, really big into comics initially. So to meet him in this capacity was weird.
See, I've always been too nervous to talk to him.
Yeah.
I get starstruck with comic book guys and toy guys. And I only talk to toy guys now because it's been so long, years and years of running into them. Yeah. The past couple of years is the only time I've been in the same space as Todd, and it's always been, yeah. I'm gonna go look at toys.
Last year was my first year at Toy Fair, and I got into the McFarlane booth, and he kind of like came in once or twice, and it was a closed off booth. This year it was open. You could actually like walk by, see mm-hmm. stuff. Last year it was walls up, closed. If you didn't get in, you didn't see anything. And one of the reps showed me around, and then he kind of came out, and I was like, that's Todd McFarlane. And he's like, I know.
And the way they act like, oh, it's just Todd. What do you
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother still collects, and he's still buying up all those Todd McFarlane issues, and that was his Spider-Man.
Yeah, and yeah, same here. The spaghetti webs, the big eyes, all that mm-hmm. stuff. But I pressured my rep last year. I was like, can I just I just want to say hi to him. Like, I don't need to interview him. I don't need to get an autograph, talk to him or anything. And he was like, wait until he's done with this. Because he was actually doing like an interview with a TV news or something like that. I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'll look at these Fortnite and these Harry Potter figures or whatever. And then when he was done, he was like, and then, Todd turns it on,
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? And I was like, I just want to say hi, thank you, bye. So I had sort of gotten over a little bit of that from last year, and then this year it was like, I did probably the same thing you did. I was like, I would like to visit the McFarlane Toys booth. And when we got there, they were like, "Your Toy Galaxy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hey, And they were like, "Oh." And she's like checking the paper. She's like, "Oh, this says that you're interviewing Todd McFarlane." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And I take out my phone and the screen's like broken, and I was like, "Okay, when are we shooting?"
Interviewing, huh? So you didn't ask for an actual interview. You were just...
I had not requested it. It was just, we were totally shocked when we got there, and I was like, "Yeah, we're doing this. Of course we're interviewing him. Of course we are. Of course we are." So,
yeah, we just show up and hope for the best, hope to get to look at some toys.
Yeah, but I assume that's what was going to happen, and he'd be in the booth and always talking and interviewing and whatever, and I'd be like, "Hey, that's McFarlane," and then we'd leave. And then they were like, no, you're going to interview him. So the first rep, showed us around, and then we got over, and he was just there to talk about the Kickstarter. And I was like, "You just talk. I don't care. I'm happy to be here."
Yeah. Because really, that's what most of when I watch interviews with Todd, it's usually him just taking over, kind of interviewing the interviewer.
Yeah. Josh Agnello in the chat here asks, "Did he seem as much of a big kid in person as he did for the Kickstarter videos?" Yes. Yes, he did. He was a mile a minute, sell, just tripping over his own words because his brain is moving faster than his mouth can.
Oh, and I love when he starts making noise when he's playing with toys. It's just like...
I'm never sure. I'm like, where's the line here between genuine enthusiasm and excitement? Because this is his stuff. He is in a position where the ideas can occur to him, and then he can make them real. He's got the money, he's got the factories, he's got the designers, and so where's that line between actual genuine enthusiasm and cringy, "Oh, dude, no, don't."
He walks that line, though. I mean, because whenever I tack on to a weekly or something, one of his videos, it's a split down the middle of people going, "Ooh," or "Love how giddy Todd is about his own toys."
Yeah, exactly. Off subject real quick here. Casey Ewert in the chat wants to know who makes your caps.
They're not special or anything. They're just like a $19 hat off Amazon. And when I find one to fit my big head, I try to keep with it for a little while. I'll have to find it's just called Newsboy or something on eBay. Not eBay, Amazon.
You gotta get them branded, man.
Yeah, the Fwoosh hats.
Exactly. So when that Kickstarter ended, $3.5 million. And the entire time it was running, just as that dollar amount went up and up and up and up and up. And I don't remember what your Kickstarter ended at for dollar value or what you needed just for minimum production cost. But $3.5 million was far in excess of what he needed, and it still is. Yeah, and I'm happy for them, profit, all that stuff. But what I couldn't get away from was the idea that this could potentially change. It's absolutely changed whatever he thought his original intent of that Kickstarter was going to be, right? He thought, we're just going to do this anniversary version of this figure. Maybe we'll do another one. We'll see. But to hit $3.5 million, I gotta believe that this has completely changed what they think they can do with Kickstarter at all.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'm sure they're already like $3.5 million. We better get working on the next one and the next one and the next one. But it'll be interesting to see what it'll still be a Spawn character, but not Spawn. Maybe going to a Melbosia or Clown or whatever else was in that first series.
Yeah, and he had mentioned when I talked to him, he had mentioned the revisiting that first line, the doing those special edition sort of anniversary figures. But he had also talked about finishing off old lines that never got finished or expanding on them. So there was that the constellations, Cancer and Leo and all those sorts of characters. He talked about doing more with that. There was the it's not the horror stuff, the licensed horror stuff, but the murderers and those kinds of figures. But any of those lines that were original IPs for him that were popular then that they haven't touched in 15 years, he could be revisiting those, adding to them, that kind of thing.
Did he mean to update it, or kind of in the same style as original?
Both potentially update, but also finish off. So if they only did like 7 of the zodiac symbols, that's what I was trying to say. If you only did like 7 of those, let's do the other 5.
I gotcha.
Let's those off. He didn't say like everything's going to be super articulated. Are they going to be statues? And again, I don't know if that was his rep standing next to him going like, oh, we're doing the zodiac,
Well, it really opens up a lot of doors, but it almost seems like if he was going to do it in an updated style, he could do all 12. And people are going to, well, I don't know. There's always going to be the holdouts, but people, you just run a Kickstarter for a month, you order it. You don't have to go to a store. You don't have to pre-order through somebody else. You know what you're getting. I don't know. This may be a whole new way of Todd marketing at least his personal stuff.
Yeah. And, obviously we're in tune with how the industry is changing. Less of this stuff is directed directly at kids. More of it is for adult collectors. McFarlane has been on that line since they started. He identified really early on that he wasn't making toys for kids. He was making toys for adult collectors. And this is just a continuation of that as that market gets smaller and smaller and smaller. He just opened up a direct channel to those adult collectors, and they gave him $3.5 million and said, more, please.
Yeah. Plus retail chains are getting, less and less. There's no Toys R Us. There's no direct markets for him to sell besides Walmart.
Well, I'll be curious to see if a version of this figure doesn't get, GameStopped or something. That sort of fan channel.
Or with different add-ons or something. Because he made it a point several times to say this is exclusive to this Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But if you can reuse that mold somewhere else.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised in the least. But I feel like it's going to have an impact in the industry, both for McFarlane Toys and the Spawn brand, and then outward. Hasbro has obviously done HasLab. Did they do 3 of them? Two funded, 1 didn't.
Did Cookie Monster didn't?
Cookie Monster definitely didn't fund.
Yeah. Even though that would have been neat. I know a lot of people weren't interested in it, but
yeah.
Unicron and Cell Barge, and
I think that's it. What was the buy-in on the barge? Do you remember?
Oh man, I didn't do that. So what was it? 500, 6, 5?
I think Unicron was 6.
Yeah, I did get that.
Yeah, but so I think for McFarlane to put it out there at a much more reasonable price point to buy into an action figure thing is going to have Hasbro and Mattel and Playmates and everybody else kind of looking at it and saying, is this something we need to start doing? Is this something we need to tap into? Because that's a lot of money. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it'd been a while since we'd gotten Spawn figures anyway, so I mean there was a hunger there. And I saw a lot of comments of, well, I'll just do with Mortal Kombat 11. That'll be my Spawn. Yeah. But I don't know. There were so many Spawns in that original line. Because he mentioned Medieval Spawn too, didn't he? Yep.
And now that it's over, he's still adding stuff. Or, well, I'll tell you about more free stuff as soon as possible.
He just threw that out there. Like, I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. I got to think of some things.
I don't know where we're going with that. Just real quick in chat here, I want to say thank you very much to Toy Chase. Welcome to John Rancourt and Mike Case. And then let's see, we already answered that question. Thank you to Jared Steele. We're not going to answer that question right now because that's going to get us off track a little bit. Maybe we'll come back to that. But it's interesting. Kickstarter is an interesting thing. Todd's the type of person that I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden his next announcement is about his own crowdfunding service.
You got to think that's just the way he thinks. Because when this first came up, Todd McFarlane doing a Kickstarter, it's crazy talk. And then suddenly it worked.
Yeah. No, I think the skeptics can take a hike.
Yeah.
He was right. It worked. And now it's just a matter of can he deliver on time? And I feel like, with the kind of assuming global pandemic notwithstanding,
Yeah.
he should be able to deliver on time. And when does the next one start? January 1st, March.
I mean, if this is going to become a thing, can he overlap them once he gets stuff moving? And you're already in on the next one before the last one even. I don't know.
It's McFarlane Toys it's interesting to see how much they've come back, right? Like we started the channel in 2015 and we would joke about how I haven't bought a McFarlane figure, a Spawn figure in forever. And then last year, all of a sudden, it's, Fortnite, DC, and there's more and more coming out. So it's crazy to see how much McFarlane Toys has shifted just in the last few years, both in terms of license acquisition, quality of figures that collectors are actually interested in looking for. And now this,
Yeah, I think the shift happened when Fortnite, they started putting articulation into things. And suddenly everybody goes, oh, that. And I think Todd on the other end, why are these selling so well? Because sometimes he still acts a little stubborn when it comes to articulation and stuff. I think it's his crew that are like, this is what sells.
I'm guessing there's there've been a few meetings where they've had to tell him repeatedly, like, can you just trust us on this one?
But we can make it look cool on our end. It's cool. Just keep going.
Here's a few charts. Take a breath. Read them. And then let's do this. And in the last few years, I've lost track of what license. Obviously, he's been doing Halo stuff. He's been doing Call of Duty. There's been other licenses out there.
Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
That I just wasn't interested in. And that was me personally. So to come back to it with Fortnite, with Mortal Kombat, whatever, and go, oh, he's not just making statues anymore. That's been a really interesting revelation. So speaking of things that are back, how's that for a segue? You have the G.I. Joe figures. I do not yet.
I paid way too much on eBay for them, and I'm not proud of that fact. And it wasn't for, I didn't get them so I could make videos and get hits and stuff. I had to know what the G.I. Joe figures were like. I had to.
Yeah.
And it was a snowball.
And you saw them at Toy Fair.
Mm-hmm. And I came out of Toy Fair going, I don't know. Those look weird. I don't like the armors and the golds and the weird weapons. But as soon as Snake Eyes hit, I thought, I need to try Duke, and then Duke sealed the deal. Hardcore.
Yeah, I was a little hesitant. I didn't pre-order. The only thing I pre-ordered ahead of time was the Snake Eyes, because I knew that was going to be a special one, and I was like, I can't not get that, especially if the mass release is going to be a different color. It's going to come with different stuff. There's going to be something significantly different about it. And when it comes to G.I. Joe, I'm not going to be okay missing out on, some of that stuff. So I had to pre-order that. And the rest of it, I was like, I'll get them when I get them. Duke, Scarlet, Roadblock. And then when I saw them at Toy Fair, I was like, okay, I need to make sure I get those. Still didn't really feel like I needed to pre-order them. I was like, I'll just get them when I get them, but I'm going to get them eventually. And, people would ask me, like, did you pre-order them? And I was like, I didn't pre-order them. I'm not really, I like them. I don't not like them, but they're pretty, they're just the regular guys. It's not like Airtight or, Alley Viper, or, somebody with a cool helmet, like they're just the sort of regular guys. And then once that started to get closer, I was like, I panicked and I just pre-ordered the rest of them. And I'll wait for Robo to rejoin us. I'm going to lean over here to chat. Oh, he's coming back. Let's see what we got in chat here. Let's see. Just lost Robo for a second. Oh, yeah. There was that. That was a question for everybody. Can't ask that of Robo. Hey, welcome back.
Am I back? That was weird. It just dropped the program.
So I have them all pre-ordered now. Especially once Destro hit, I was like, I need to get all these figures.
Well, I mean, you see Snake Eyes, and it's so hard to mess up. I'm sure they could. I mean, I'm sure some, but it's so hard to mess up Snake Eyes. I knew I was going to like that. They have done it, but it takes some effort. It takes a lot more effort than. And man, that poor guy at Toy Fair at the G.I. Joe booth. He's just like, why is everybody grabbing about this? He just felt, I could feel the sadness coming off of him.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
getting them in hand, I mean, even, I don't know. I still have my gripes, but man, they are such good figures. So good.
You know, when I got the Snake Eyes, there's that nostalgia, and you're like, oh yay, finally! I've been asking for 6-inch GI Joes for so long, and now it's finally here. And I think I intentionally was not that impressed with it because I wasn't really even sure what I wanted. Like, I wasn't even sure. Like, did I actually want it to be closer to the comics? Did I wanted it to be, more of a modern update? Was this what a modern update would be for me? Is this just Deadpool with a black mask? Like, is that who Snake Eyes is? But so when we posted our video on it, I was like, well, it's a really good Snake Eyes, but I'm not sure it's my, Snake Eyes. And then every day we've gotten further away from that. I was like, no, I was wrong. It's cool.
Yeah. And it's weird how time does that. The more you mess with it, because out of all the toy lines over the past couple of years, since I've gotten these G.I. Joes, they've stayed in the review space. They've stayed within arm's reach. Just so, because that's what I'm going to mess with. The next play day will probably be mostly G.I. Joe, just stuff adding to them. It's crazy. And I never did a lot of the G.I. Joe stuff ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched a lot of the cartoon, but when I was a kid, my parents were like, we're already buying Transformers. We're already buying Masters. We're already buying Star Wars. You got to draw a line somewhere. We can't buy it all for you.
And that's where I cut out Masters and put in G.I. Joe.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I was too deep. I had to keep going.
And that's not true. I had plenty of Masters of the Universe. It was more, I mean, Star Wars was starting to taper off. Masters of the Universe were I want to say they were G.I. Joe was definitely the cheapest retail price on the peg. I would bet going back, but I don't know for sure. But there were so many other things: Centurions, Masks, Sectars. There was just so much out there that I could never focus on one thing. So it was like, pick up a G.I. Joe here, put them all on my birthday list. They would all show up. But yeah, so I don't know even when. I have all the figures pre-ordered. I think I have them all pre-ordered through Hasbro Pulse. So I don't know when they're going to actually start shipping stuff. So I haven't put my hands on any of them but that one Snake Eyes figure.
If you have the Snake Eyes, you have a pretty good idea of what the rest of the line is like engineering-wise. It's so consistent across the line, and well, except Scarlet, but all of the males at least. Yeah. As good as Snake Eyes is, that's all the rest of them.
Yeah, and you got the variant Snake Eyes, right? The mass release.
Not yet.
Oh no, you don't have the one yet. Oh, okay.
No, and prices right now. I already paid too much for the ones I have. Snake Eyes is 2 per case. I'm going to wait until what is it, June 1st?
Yeah. I managed to grab one. I think it's Rogue Toys. Put them up. It was they either posted on Twitter or Instagram or somewhere, and they were like, "We've got the new GI Joes in stock," and it was Snake Eyes, and I was like, "Order it!" So I think I have that one coming in Monday
because it's same figure, just all black, right? Which
all black and then different guns.
I can't tell which one I like better though. I like the colors of the deluxe.
Yeah, it's I'm not sure until I see it in person. I'm not sure which one is going to be my ideal. But we have a question here in chat from Joe Self. For both of us, which would be your most wanted G.I. Joe or Cobra vehicle in the classified series that HasLab could make, and what would be the predicted price point?
Good grief. Yeah, that's going deep. Because again, I didn't have a lot of Joes as a kid, and I don't remember having any vehicles. But what, HasLab, you can't go too big. Well, you could go big. God. Because your brain automatically wants to go flag.
It'd be impossible.
Yeah, impossible. I don't know. What was the jet with the backwards wings? I always wanted that one.
The X-49 Conquest, the Conquest.
Yeah. For some reason, I always wanted that.
I gotta lean on Star Wars and see, whatever they've done, that's gonna be the model for what they might be able to do with other lines. And we saw them, I would say, tank with that TIE fighter, with the First Order TIE fighter.
Yeah. Only because it was First Order, though, you think? I mean, if it had been a classic TIE.
Don't know. It's hard to say where the line is on that. I definitely think they would have sold more if it had been a classic TIE fighter, but I don't know for sure if it still would have been. And I don't know. I don't know if they consider it a success, but we haven't seen any large vehicles like that since. It's been the smaller stuff. I don't know how Ray's Speeder did necessarily. I don't know how the Speeder from Solo did. But I'm guessing it's going to be vehicles more in that scale. So your Serpentor's Air Chariot, your Trouble Bubble, your Ram, I could see them doing a Vamp. That might work.
What was the Zartan? The ski sleds.
Yep, the Swamp Skier. Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. Price point, again, I would refer to Star Wars in terms of what you could expect from that. What, 30, 40 bucks, 50 bucks? I don't even know, because I haven't really bought any of the vehicles.
I have all the vehicles, but at least Star Wars wise, they weren't that much. I don't believe.
Someone says his tank.
Yeah, his tank might be a bit of a stretch. I mean,
but it would be cool.
It would be really cool. I would love them to just take a swing at something, and see what the fans do. I know that the 4-inch crowd is disappointed with the move to 6-inch because vehicles are less practical.
Yeah, but and the argument is that vehicles were such an essential part of the original G.I. Joe line. That was half the fun of G.I. Joe's. And I can agree with that, because even though I didn't have G.I. Joe, Star Wars vehicles were so fun with the 3 3/4 inch.
Yeah.
But you move up 6 inch.
The chat here did mention, Paul Hamilton here in chat says the Snow Speeder is coming out.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's a game changer.
Which surprises me, because the A-Wing would be smaller, but I guess Empire.
Yeah, because that does a couple of things. One, it's a bigger vehicle. Two, it's original trilogy, so it may have a wider appeal than new trilogy stuff does. Mm-hmm. And that definitely could put you into the market for something like maybe the Skyhawk. Maybe they go really crazy and do the glider, the hang glider. I don't remember what the styrofoam glider was called.
Yeah. Or even the helicopters. What was the smaller?
Oh, the Fang Chopper. Yep.
Yeah.
And then all those in that, G.I. Joe did really good with all those smaller vehicles, small armor pieces, small little diorama play sets, all that kind of stuff.
Accessories and
Sky Striker, though, I don't know. Fang, Ferret, Ram, Vamp, for sure. Those, I could see all of those happening. I would love the Ferret. I think the Ferret was the ATV, right?
I couldn't. Again, don't get me lying.
Pretty sure it was. I would love to see all of those. Back on Yokai Customs in chat here. So excited for the vintage Hot Toys Boba Fett. But Boba Fett, we'll jump over to Star Wars and talk about Boba Fett. Let's go.
That's all the opening you needed.
I'm pretty excited. I was not expecting that. I didn't expect Hot Toys to go that route.
It's such a cool concept, done in any scale. But yeah, Hot Toys, that was kind of surprising.
But at the same time, I just shake my head every time any licensor that picks up Star Wars and does anything Boba Fett related. I don't know why they don't just run through all the variants, like do Empire, do Return, do Prototype, do anime, holiday special, and do Kenner. Like, you bought the license, do all 5.
Well, I mean, I guess they waited for the event, or they've been holding on to it since. I don't keep track of Hot Toys enough to know their schedule, but it seems like they announce something every week or every other week.
I have no idea.
It's only when something like that catches my eye. I'm sure. Did you pre-order it?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still undecided.
Literally the only other Hot Toys figure that I've paid money for, ordered since the only other one I bought was First Avenger Cap back in the day. And that was, I want to say it was $150 back then.
See, my wife got me the Dark Knight Joker, and it was $125 on Amazon. That was before the whole. Now they're $250, $300, $400.
Yeah, no, I was $255. I think is what the new one is.
See, yeah.
As a repaint of an existing.
So you have the other Hot Toys Fets?
I have one. That's the only other one, and that was gifted to me by a very generous viewer. And that's I believe that's the Return of the Jedi. Yeah, it's right here. Return of the Jedi outfit. Because Empire 1 had just been released and he upgraded.
I've been eyeballing the Hot Toys Return of the Jedi Fett, the one that came with the Sarlacc tentacles, because I can use that in my 6-inch display.
Yeah,
I can have that and that over there.
I drew a line at Hot Toys and said I can't fall down that rabbit hole. That would
only if it's very, very special. I have 6 or something, 3, 6, 4, something.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
D Tori in chat here asks if I got the Black Series Fett helmet. I did not. As I'm sitting here talking about pre-ordering a $250 Hot Toys figure, the helmet was like, $100. I'm like, I can't spend $100 on that. It's really cool, and I got to try it on at Toy Fair, but I just know that if I get the helmet, I'm gonna have to get the rest of the suit.
Oh,
yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
I don't know what a jetpack goes for.
In a suit of armor. I mean, I've got a couple of helmets, but I know I've got a buddy that is 501st, and I know all that trials and tribulations in order to get all the armor and suited up and everything. Not for me.
Yeah. A friend of mine built his own full Boba Fett head to toe, custom painted, bought all the parts from Dented Helmet. There's all those cosplayers out there who have bits that are, cast from the original props and stuff. He built his whole own suit, electronics and everything. And I don't know what it cost him. I think it was, probably $1,000 or $2,000. I can't do that. And I don't know if anybody makes a default jumpsuit in my size. I'm 6'3", so
6'3" Fett. Well, I did Bullet 6'1", I think. So it's pretty close.
And Fett is always considerably shorter than Vader when they're standing next to each other. Let's see what we got here.
It was the Black Series question. Your most wanted Black Series.
There was an earlier question about most wanted Black Series. Do you have one that is still stuck in your craw there?
And man, every day it could be something different. I see something or watch something, or right now for some reason I'm really wanting a proper size IG-11 or IG-88 and articulated. But that's just a redo. They already gave us 1 or 2.
Yeah. The proportions on that, are definitely off.
Yeah, it's small.
I don't know. It's tough because I'm just sort of like along for the ride on a lot of this stuff. The human-faced characters, even though they're much better now than they used to be, are still not necessarily my wants. I'm still looking for pilots, helmets, that kind of stuff. I'd love to. I'm shocked that we didn't see an actual Beskar armor Mandalorian.
From Hasbro?
Yeah,
they showed one at the 1st of April that it's revealed.
Full Beskar?
Yeah.
Oh,
jetpack and I believe the sigil. It was one of those fan channel release or reveals.
Yeah, it may have gotten mixed in the shuffle for me with Mafex and Figuarts and
because well, Mafex hasn't even fully solicited theirs yet. All we've seen is magazine scans, and it doesn't have the jetpack.
I'm surprised that after the conclusion of the series, we didn't immediately see that reveal. There was some time before we actually saw the reveal of that figure, and that they didn't have an actual Death Watch, or whoever the standard Mandalorian is that picks up little baby Mandalorian and jetpacks into the sky. Like, where's that figure? You know, they got us. I just forgot the name of the heavy. Yeah,
did he have a name?
He did. Bismarck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm blanking on his name again, but
The Heavy Mando.
that's
They came out with him during the show, but then didn't have Baby Yoda until, or I'm sorry, the child until about now.
Yeah.
In fact, I just got that yesterday.
So small.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Even if it is accurately proportioned, I still feel like maybe they could have just bumped it up a little bit.
I think it's just the head. I think the body's about there, but the head seems small on top of the robes. But I don't know. I've had this argument with several people about what the actual height is.
Yeah, I have to believe that they at least tried to get it close to what it's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah. Especially this far after the show.
In chat here, Yokai Customs, we need a Hasbro vintage deco helmet, which might as well. The mold exists, you know. They're doing the prototype helmet, so.
And they did, and I think I read that they did replace the top of the dome to take the dent out for the prototype helmet.
Nice.
The rest of it's there, but for some reason they just took the one out.
That was my only gripe at Hot Toys, the Hot Toys Kenner homage was that he still has the dent.
So it's just the straight up same mold,
just repainted,
which that's what Black Series did too.
Yeah. I need to sometime between now and when that figure ships, I need to hop on eBay or something and purchase a Stormtrooper blaster.
Oh yeah, just give to him. Just
like I couldn't even throw that in.
Because I got a custom for the Black Series one that looks like the vintage blaster just to finish it off. I mean, it just looks cool with it.
Yeah, exactly. You had one that actually looks like the Kenner one. Where did that come from?
Yeah, that got blown up. John Walker Customs on
okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's just it's blown up somehow, or a 3D print, or 3D printers. Everybody's doing insane stuff.
Absolutely. So Casey Ewert here in chat asks the question that this whole topic is about. How do we feel about Boba Fett potentially being in The Mandalorian? We were talking about this just before we went live. The insider report says that Boba Fett, played by, I just forgot his name.
And if you hadn't said that, I would have.
Yeah, it'll come to me. Anyway, that he's going to be in season 2 of Mandalorian.
Tamir Morrison,
that's what it was. I knew it was a T.
Yeah.
And that potentially that was him in season 1, in the episode with that you see the caped, you hear the spurs walk into frame, the cape swings, you see him from like knees down, and we never really found out who that was.
But the spurs were kind of a giveaway. I guess it's something that I never paid attention to. Was that sound in the original trilogy?
I haven't gone back to check. Maybe.
I don't know.
It was a very clear audio cue that said, you know, this is a hint as to who this character is, and there were no other characters that had been introduced into the show that sounded like they were wearing spurs when they walked. So
yeah, Lucas has always said that Boba Fett survived, right? From what I understand,
Lucas was like, "Nah, he's dead. He went in the pit and killed him, and he's done."
Social media is terrible because I'll read something, I go, "Oh yeah, that is true," without checking it. Nothing.
Yeah, as I understand it, he and this could just be some thing that existed that was never verified. As I understood it, he didn't really care about Boba Fett, wasn't as a character, and didn't really understand why he had become the cult favorite that he had become. So he had no problem giving him an unceremonious exit out of the franchise in a ridiculous fashion right into the pit, and he was dead. And it wasn't until all the extended sort of stuff that other writers recognized the value of that character and were like, people really like this guy.
Yeah, because didn't Dengar dig him out? Or, well, he ran into Dengar first, right? In the comic? Something?
I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try. I don't know.
There's a lot of comic stuff that they've kind of thrown out.
Yeah,
Some good, some bad, but
yeah.
I don't know. When I first heard Morrison was coming back, my first thought was Rex. You know, because didn't they retcon him into Jedi, the bearded?
Basically, yeah. But as far as him being on season 2, for me, it's we'll see. I would have been fine. It's never been about the character for me. He barely has a character. He was a story device, capture Han Solo. We don't really get into who Boba Fett even is in the movies. So it's not about like, oh, I'm so excited to have this character back. It's just, I always liked that suit. And is he even going to be wearing that? So.
I mean, the way it changed from one movie to the next already, color-wise. And is it going to digest? Is some of his armor gone now forever? Or have to steal more? As long as it's done, I don't know. I have a lot of faith in the Mandalorian guys already because of season 1.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Where it was where it was comedians and the lady from Strangers with Candy and characters, or Nick Nolte as an Ugnaught, things you wouldn't expect to work actually worked. So I have faith. I'm sure he's not going to be in it every episode or a whole story arc. It may be just a cameo or something.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I'm coming at it from. It's a wait and see for me. I can't say I'm excited about it. I can't say I'm not excited about it. I'll see what they do with the character. The things that happened with him in the prequels and in Clone Wars and stuff, I never cared about, because to me, Boba Fett was more about that suit, and he was never in that suit, even until the very end. Okay, he had the helmet, maybe he had gauntlets, but I'm still looking at a kid, and it's tough to sort of revisit what I thought that character was before they actually started putting some of this stuff down.
Yeah.
It's so, like you just said, I trust that these storytellers have some pretty good ideas.
For all we know, it could be the back of a dark bar. The voice just comes out, and then wait for season 3. I mean, it may be just because I can't see him suiting up, right? I don't know.
I don't know. I have a hard time believing that they would go through that much fan service just for that.
Yeah, because I saw a timeline somewhere, given how old he was in the prequels, then to Jedi, he'd only be like 40, somewhere around there by the time the Mandalorian comes around.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Yep.
He may be just doing the voice.
Possibly. Let's see if we got anything else here in chat. There's so many comments over here.
Yeah.
Even
hey, Plunderlings, what's happening?
Oh, Plunderlings in here? Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Those figures look great. So yeah, well, I'm interested to see where that goes. That show is great. I started watching the behind the scenes on Disney Plus. You get to see some of the production, how the show's made, the people that participated in it, and the sort of general philosophy of the production of that show.
I haven't watched that yet. I haven't. I almost feel like I don't want to see anything until the series starts. With episode 1, I was new to the internet. I wanted to know everything behind the scenes, and then I don't know. That just kind of ruined it for me. So from then on, I don't get into spoilers or behind the scenes.
It's all about season 1, production of season 1.
I know, but I don't even want to. For some reason, in my brain, I don't want to see behind the curtain. Just show me cool Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, from a movie making standpoint, the production facility is amazing.
Yeah,
I hope to see them remake the prequels with that facility that they have now, because they have this sort of. It's not green screen; they have an actual digital projection of the stars when they're in a ship. Of most of those sets that you can see, the backgrounds, the sky, everything. It's all this giant screen. There's some set pieces that are there, so they're actually interacting with physical objects, but the sky looks like it's there. It puts them more in that space, and it makes all the acting more believable.
Oh, well, that's not bad. Instead of acting to a tennis ball, is that
exactly.
Is that what Jar Jar was described as?
Well, and you see some of those shots from the prequels where they're just running across these sound stages that are just blue.
Mhm.
You know.
Somebody wants an elevator pitch to watch Rebels.
What are your thoughts on Han and Carbonite as a single carded figure?
I mean, back when that Boba Fett came out, they said, we will find some way to get you this Han and Carbonite. And I guess this is the easiest way to get it out there. I don't need it, but they put it on a retro card. So I need it.
Did you get the SDCC one?
Yeah, back in the day.
Okay, so you've had that. I never got that set.
I was so excited about, and I was there and I was so worried because the Hasbro line is always terrible to try to get through at San Diego. But we made it through. I got my Han and it's still in the package. I've taken it out of the package, but it went back in because they came out with Boba Fett and I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's the first one. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was very bitter for a very long time that they had never put that Han and Carbonite out. I purchased a friend's collection at one point, and he had acquired a custom. Like, I don't know if it was cast from that Han and Carbonite. It's pretty close. I'll be able to compare it soon.
Yeah. So you're excited about the new one then?
Oh yeah. I already pre-ordered that.
Yeah.
And I'll be opening it and comparing it to the cast one that I have to see if it's close. I cannot understand why they didn't open up the carbonized line with that.
Yeah, because it'd be cool to see it kind of shiny or metallic, or I guess that's the gimmick for that line. I don't know why they didn't put it behind a Han without the jacket on. I mean,
right,
like the original figure or vintage.
Absolutely. But as we've seen with pretty much any line that has included a Han and Carbonite up to this point, they're probably going to do multiple versions of it.
Yeah, it comes out on the next card. Or we'll get another chance.
Question from chat here: are you a fan of of Gotcha Man?
I remember Battle of the Planets, but that's about it. I mean, I remember seeing it on TV. But I've never had a figure since, or went back and watched it, or.
So I like that. The Storm Collectibles announcement didn't get you going.
It makes me want to go back and watch it again. But announcements are cool, but I want to see what they can do before getting too excited. I don't want to get excited and then go, oh no, I don't think so. Even though Storm has a good track record.
Yeah. Quality stuff. I don't have very many figures, but the few that I have are really, really nice. I'm curious to see how those sort of rubber materials are going to hold up over time.
Yeah, that is a bad thing. Go Morbius face on it, kind of. Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Deteriorating.
Did I see that somebody asked for a elevator pitch on Rebels?
Yeah, why to watch Rebels?
Have you watched Rebels?
It's been a little bit since about the time the last season aired. I haven't went back and refreshed yet.
It's I love it. I'm a huge fan of Rebels. It to me, it does what, if you want the elevator pitch, I'm not going to spoil anything. To me, it does what the prequels and Clone Wars couldn't do to an extent, because it deals with a set of characters that are completely separated from those core characters whose fates are already determined. You know, the Clone Wars for me was tough to get into because I already knew what happened to Anakin, to Mace Windu, to Yoda, to everybody. Ahsoka was different. She's new. I don't know who she is and where she's going. So that made it okay to, interesting to watch. For Rebels, it's a full group of characters whose fates you don't know. Yes, it's set at a time period between the Clone Wars or the end of the Clone War. So, post Order 66 after that, but right before Star Wars Episode 4 starts, and kind of overlapping into some of that. So it's sort of running parallel to events during a time period where we still don't really know a lot about the Star Wars universe. So you take all these new characters who embody the things you love about Star Wars. They're kind of like a little family of, it's just like the X-Men or any other superhero team that you love. Put them together in a world that feels like Star Wars and have Star Wars stuff happen.
And you have familiar things pop in and out, but it's never made the focus of anything.
Yeah, I think part of that is because in marketing the show, they know that they need to put things that are familiar in there, so that people who may not have gotten into the characters in the story yet go, oh, C-3PO and R2-D2 are going to be in this episode. I'll check it out for that, and then maybe that hooks you into watching the rest of the show.
Kind of like putting Boba Fett in a Mandalorian show.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I haven't watched Clone Wars yet. I jumped right into Rebels whenever I heard about Rebels. Was more interesting to me for some reason. I want to go back and watch Clone Wars, but time and I got to get into it.
I was initially, when the movie came out, so there was the first feature film that was the CG, but then there was also the 2D animated Clone Wars shorts. Those were interesting. I don't know if those are still considered canon or not. I think everything.
Is that with Mace kicking the hell out of battle droids and
all that stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a sort of a stylistic departure from what Star Wars is, usually recognized as. And then the CG film came out, and I really didn't like the look of the CG film, and I think that turned a lot of people off. But once the actual animated series started, I was kind of in and out, hit or miss with actually watching the show. But maybe a year or 2 years ago, I jumped in and just watched all of Clone Wars.
Straight through.
Yeah, there's some good stuff, and there's some stuff that just drags.
Well, see, my son just watched. He came up with a list somehow of all the essential and what order to watch Clone Wars. So he didn't watch all of it, but I guess he watched what needed to be seen before going into the final season.
Yeah, yep. And there's definitely recaps and stuff. Obviously, the fans have done their part to make sure that if you wanted just a quick what you need to know, video or post, that's available. Here's an interesting question in chat. How do you, Robo, feel about moving a bunch of mystery machines?
That is the craziest thing. I didn't know that existed before I saw it at Walmart that day, and I thought that's got to be 6-inch scale, right? I even have a idea. This is not planned. I just have toys laying all over the place. But I thought that's got to fit a Marvel Legends figure, so I just bought it. $20. What was I going to lose? And suddenly, everybody digs the mystery machine. And I'm not, because of me. No, it's not like that. It's just a cool toy and it's cheap, easy to get.
Is there's nothing in it, right? There's is there a steering wheel?
Yeah. There's not a lot of leg room, but there's a steering wheel. This door doesn't open though. Just the back one. And it's just a big open. Oh well. There is electronics, but it's just an open shell.
Nice.
But it's nifty.
Are you getting the Scooby-Doo figures to go with it?
Yes, Shaggy's in there, and I have them strewn all over the place. I have Captain Caveman laying here. I have the first series.
I was thinking about Blue Falcon and Dynamite. Not sure yet. I saw Dynamite in the store. Didn't buy him.
Dynamite, even if you just get him, and we someday get a Mezco 112 collective Blue Falcon, please.
Yeah,
he'll go cool with that. But I haven't opened the Blue Falcon yet.
Good point by DJ Ronan here in chat, pointing out that the Hoth Rebel soldier from Black Series, that's face switch, would work real nice with Zartan.
It would, wouldn't it? And they already have the backpack technology. They need to use it. Exactly. I can't even do a wish list of G.I. Joe. It's too long.
It's start at the beginning and add all the characters to the list.
Mm-hmm. Start at the first episode and keep going, because I've been stupid Hasbro putting that series on their YouTube channel. I've been going through it, and as much as I wanted realistic looks at first, now that I'm rewatching the cartoon, it's no, okay, I'm okay with lasers and crazy big bots and everything else.
Somebody, I don't know who posted it on Instagram. I don't know if it was you. Somebody posted a picture of Scarlet with Black Widow's jetpack.
Yeah.
Was that you?
I had to try it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I wasn't going to buy that Black Widow figure.
Plus that Black Widow figure, I so want that head to work on Scarlet. If I had one problem with Scarlet, she looks a little bit young, and that Widow looks older. So she's good parts.
Yeah. Jumping around here, somebody did point out here that it was Jendi Tartakovsky that did the Clone Wars episode.
That's right.
and that those are not, according to this, considered canon anymore. I thought I had read somewhere that, all right, well, Plunderling says he thinks it is canon, so I don't know. We're gonna have to get a ruling on that.
I have to make some phone calls.
Yeah, there's some people are saying it's Legends, some people are saying it's canon. I haven't watched those shorts recently enough to know whether or not everything that happens in there fits.
Crazy force powers.
Yeah. Eric Hughes asked if we'll ever do a Micronauts video. Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about Micronauts a couple of times. Do you know who makes that mystery machine?
Hold on. It's Basic Fun.
Oh, those are the mini figure manufacturers? Do they do the little mini World's Smallest Transformers and that stuff?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I've never bought anything because that's not the same company that was doing the Scooby-Doo stuff before this. That's still on the shelves.
Rebels make Thrawn, which is neat.
Yeah.
Gus won't fit in the mystery machine. His legs are too big.
Who's that?
Gus.
Oh.
He's got the big. He's
That's
got
the most
the armored leg.
Yeah, it's a comment in the chat here says someone turned that mystery machine into the 80s style Joker van. I'm guessing we're going to see quite a few turtle vans as well.
Turtle vans. Well, I think in Pixel Dan's interview with Randy the other day that they're looking because of the Scooby or the mystery machine, they're looking into making a turtle van, trying to take those same concepts. Because, like I said, $20 is a hell of a deal.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I felt about those about the Top Gun airplanes and figures.
Have you seen those?
From Lannard? Oh, I picked up the set. And I was like, am I going to open this? Am I not going to open it? And I was like, whatever. If I like the presentation of the box and everything, but I'm going to open it, and if I want to get one in the box, it's only $20.
Right. I saw those the other day, and I thought, oh no, I already have too much stuff.
Beachhead, yeah, Dark Pierce 629 in chat. Beachhead is definitely on my short list. Beachhead and Flint.
Beachhead, Flint, Firefly, Zartan. I think if they had, we're only going to do one more series and then we're cutting it off. I think that, or well, I need Lady J too.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is when people ask like, oh, what's on your short list for wants for GI Joe? It's like, well, what do I want or what do I think is actually going to get made? But just going in the natural progression. Those main characters aren't necessarily the characters that I want. Like Budo is on my short list.
Night Creeper's on mine.
Yeah,
because that was one of my one that I had as a kid. One of the few.
Yeah. Headhunter Stormtroopers are on my short list, but they're not going to be making those anytime soon. Hey, Tunnel Rat. I've never understood the love for Tunnel Rat, other than I think, wasn't it based on Larry Hama?
Oh, I don't know. I keep seeing comments of Tunnel Rat was with the team that we have so far. You add Tunnel Rat, and it's one of the main teams of one iteration of G.I. Joe cartoon or book or something.
Gotcha.
But I haven't done that much research yet. I just know I want characters.
Ireland, Ducky, and Ireland.
Yeah. I haven't really read many of the comics since the 80s, so
I found a website that scanned them all in, and I'm going to start any day now.
Nice. Do you think Hasbro is going to make Zords and Megazords? Nope.
No, I don't. Isn't there a?
Oh, not as part of the Lightning collection, but as far as generally, like take the Combiner Wars approach to Megazords.
I don't know. I wasn't as much into. I don't know a lot about Megazords. When I think Zords, I think of the old put together. Was that Zords? No, that was something Zoids.
Zoids, yeah.
Sorry, that was something else.
Zords being the name for the just the mechs that appear in Power Rangers.
Yeah. See, I didn't do a lot of power. I don't know a lot about Power Rangers.
I could see them doing something, but definitely not as part of the Lightning collection for sure. Eels, Viper, Bats, Crimson Guard, Snow Serpent. Yes. All of that. That's for sure.
That's why you want a wish list, just all of them. Just give me all of them, any and all.
Yeah, I think Cobra Commander actually is in the next wave, and then I believe also some movie characters. So like movie Snake Eyes, movie Storm Shadow, and maybe one other character. But I think Cobra Commander is the villain in the next wave.
I think that poster that they gave us, I think that's a good idea of what's coming quick. Because there's Gung Ho and Red Ninja, Cobra Commander, Alley Vipers. Because the Red Ninjas.
Do you collect Doctor Who?
I do not. As much as I love that show, and I go back and watch it once a year, I've never been interested in any of the toys, just because maybe scale or I don't know. I'm such a scale snob. Anything below 6, I don't. I try not to get into.
I don't think I've ever seen an episode. So
really,
yeah, I don't. No Doctor Who. I never watched X-Files. There's a lot of sci-fi out there that I've just never seen.
I think I got into Doctor Who late, and I caught a couple of episodes one night, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. And then it was all downhill from there.
Do you have any of the Buffy the Vampire figures?
Let's see. We got questions from chat. Trisha Clements asks, do you have any of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer figures, and what quality are they, if so?
I don't. I love that show. And I don't know if I told this story on here or somewhere else. I think it was on Toy Migos, but 2005 was my first year at San Diego Comic-Con. It was my first year out of the backwoods, and I didn't speak as eloquent as I do now. So I went to a booth looking for their exclusive Buffy the Vampire Slayer Spike, and I started arguing with the guy because I was asking for Spike, and he said that they don't sell Star Trek toys. And so we were arguing back and forth, and finally I realized not Spock. Spock. And that was the end of my, I never got a Buffy I never got a figure after that. I was so put off. I was like, nope, I don't want any of your figures. So yeah. Ike.
Jeez. I didn't really watch the show back in the day. I think the only figure I have is a translucent orange of Seth Green. What is his character's name? Spike? Is he Spike?
No, he's not Spike. He's the werewolf. And now I can't remember his name.
All right, we're doing real good tonight. I think that's the only one I have. And I'm not sure if those were Diamond Select or if those were, but they're like that same 6-inch scale. Back when everybody had really worked out articulation yet. So they have like the Y hips and then pretty good posability, lacking ab crunch, but I have it because it's a translucent figure.
I think I did get a couple of because they upped the articulation later, and I think I got the Angel, but it's in pieces and parts by now. It was custom fodder at the time, so he may have a leg somewhere in the box or something.
Oz.
Oz, that was his name. Oz.
Oz.
Yeah, thank you.
That's right.
Daniel Heron votes for Sonic Fighters Road Pig. I'll go for Road Pig, but you can keep your Sonic Fighters.
That's getting a little deeper.
Road Pig or Sonic Fighters?
Sonic Fighters.
Yeah. Road Pig was actually, if my mom is watching the live stream right now, she can turn the sound off. Road Pig was one of those figures during my heavy shoplifting days that I acquired.
Good grief. So it has sentimental value on top of it.
I had a perfect method of, because I'm sure I'm part of the reason why action figure companies moved away from bubble on blister.
Easy to rip.
Oh yeah, too easy. Yeah,
man. You think you know a guy?
Yeah, yeah. Somebody, I'm trying to remember. Somebody on Instagram, Customizer, did a Marvel Legends style Road Pig, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
It's one of those that you want, but you know you'll never have. I see a lot of that on Instagram, and I want that.
Jonathan Bure with voting for Hot Toys Serpentor. Okay. But Hot Toys Serpentor with a drone chariot, that would be amazing. And then mentions that Cobra Commander should get a mirrored visor. Destro, do you have the Destro?
Yeah.
How it's not mirrored, obviously. It's not chromed.
No, it's kind of it's shiny silver, but you can't see the reflection.
Even through the internet, it looks like it's got some shine on it here.
Yeah, it's shiny, but it's not mirror.
Yeah,
but it's
so that would be fine for a Cobra Commander face mask, right?
Oh yeah, he has a lot of like sculpted. Well, not a lot. There's some flat parts, but he has like grooves and the eyebrows. I'm sure if it was just flat, it would look a little bit more shiny. Like the helmet, which I'm thinking, since that's how he looks on the poster, that's how we'll get him.
Right, exactly. I've never been a fan of hooded Cobra Commander. Give me mirrored visor all day.
Even though I've already been on eBay and got a hooded Cobra Commander head.
Do you think there'll be any market for nostalgia? Any nostalgia market for the G.I. Joe figures where they revisit the movies?
Oh, the movies? I don't know. I thought you were going to go with more classic looks, or
No, I'm talking lips, snake eyes.
I don't, or bring in the Rock. Even though I saw headlines a couple weeks ago that they want to reboot G.I. Joe with the Rock after Snake Eyes movie, and that there's also already talk of the next movie after Snake Eyes.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they're being
Let's not get too far ahead.
Yeah.
A Megazord.
I can't.
Or Dragonzord would be a good
I can't see them doing Sergeant Slaughter.
You would think those rights are tied up right now, and isn't there some kind of they're questioning his actual military service or something? I don't know, that he was lying about it the whole time. Controversy.
I'm shocked to hear that there ever was a question that he was actually in the military. I just assumed it was always acting from day one.
Yeah, it was all the character, but I don't know. And kayfabe and everything that involves there. But
yeah, there's never been a time where I thought any of those other wrestling characters were actually. I did not think Iron Sheik was from. I didn't think Nikolai Volkov, any of these guys. I didn't think they were actually from those countries. I just assumed everybody was playing a part.
Right. Didn't think Sting was an undead wrestler, or
no. It's
the Undertaker could shoot lightning.
I know where the line is. Yeah, I'm just seeing mask. The word mask in the chat here a few times. I would love for anything mask related to come back. I really don't think. I mean, I don't know. They keep talking about potentially doing movies and stuff, and having them be part of that Hasbro shared universe. But who knows? I would love, the Specialist Tracker popped into the 25th anniversary line. I'd love to see him show up in this classified line, but I don't think that's happening.
You're talking about mask, right? I mean,
yeah. I can see the word mask just peppered through here.
I can see that. I would take 6-inch figures, but that was one of the nostalgia lines that I need vehicles for. I could do with just the figures. I don't need the vehicles, but it would be cool to have the vehicles.
Yeah, I think that's vehicles are a little more. I don't. I see the argument being made like figures should be 4 inches so you can have the vehicles. You can't do them at 6 inch. It's not affordable. They're not playable, et cetera, et cetera. And I get that argument to an extent. It doesn't apply to me. But when it comes to mask, the vehicles really were the focal point.
Yeah. With G.I. Joe, that was, what they utilized in order to do their battles. With mask, yeah, they were just the drivers.
Yeah. Chat wants to know where you got Roadblock's shirt.
It was on eBay. It's going to be on the Play Day. I'll have links to that. The description is something like for the TB League male body.
Okay. Yep.
And when you get it in, if you buy it and you get it and it looks tiny, it does stretch over the torso if you pop the arms off.
Nice. Dial Tone, Bat, Crystal Ball, Crocmaster, Sci-Fi, all of those, yes, except for Crystal Ball. I don't know.
Was there a snow viper?
Snow Serpent.
Snow serpent, maybe. Did he have the black face mask with the white?
He had like black goggles with like a gray mask here, and then the fur. I mean, basically, it's already the range viper, Gus.
Yeah. But that was also one of the other few I had as a kid.
Wheeled Warriors.
Collection video. I need to set my collection up again. I took a collection video a couple years ago, and it essentially looks the same, just with some new things stuffed into it. But I'm wanting to redo it here soon. More shelves or something.
Someone way earlier had asked that what lines was Robo going to stop collecting now that he was going to be collecting.
Stop.
Because he must have.
Is that a carve out for you? Is G.I. Joe supplementing something else in your collection?
I figure
one of his videos.
Yeah, when I came back from Toy Fair, I was like, I've got to pare it down. I've got to cut out some lines. And I don't know. At the moment, I'm not liking a lot of. Well, I'm liking them, but I don't need the Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse wave. And I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been doing Marvel for 15 years now. I'll never stop Marvel. If anything, I'll cut out Transformers. I think
with the saturation of figures that have come out, over the past 15 years with Marvel Legends, you've pretty much got and throw in, other manufacturers, Diamond, Mezco, whatever. You've pretty much got some amazing Captain America figures out there.
yeah, quite a few.
Whatever your taste is.
And only jumped into, well, I don't know. There were some years there that Marvel wasn't doing anything, but I don't know. I have to think long and hard. But I'm at the point where Transformers, I pretty much have what I want for the most part. Now it's just supplementing that, and I can do without that to jump into G.I. Joe.
It takes me back to the whole, back in reading comics days, they did the Wolverine origin story, right? And it was called Origin. And for the longest time, part of his draw was the man of mystery. Memory implants, what's real, what's not, how old is he, where did he come from, how did he get his powers? But that was part of the draw. It's just like Boba Fett. He's more popular when you don't tell this story. Snake Eyes, Wolverine, Boba Fett, all these guys. And I have to believe that, at Hasbro, they're like, we don't really want to do the ultimate perfect Optimus Prime, because if we make that, then nobody's going to want to buy any more Optimus Primes.
Same with Vader. Yeah.
Say all of it. So, at this point, it's like they've pretty much made I don't know where you can go with Captain America for me at this point. The 80th anniversary one is really great. All the movie ones, Worthy Cap is great. I've got a great movie one, a great comic book one, a great this, a great that. That Gamerverse one came out, and I was just like, I'm all set. I don't need that.
The weird thing about that's my G.I. Joe Captain America. See,
okay, well, don't tell me that.
Justify everything.
But Earthrise Optimus comes out, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm done. I don't need to buy any more Optimus Primes.
Yeah, but I thought that about Siege before it came out, or when it came out. And same with Starscream. That's awesome. And then they come out with a new one. And at some point, I got to say no. Because, we're going to get into all this G.I. Joe. And it's like everybody keeps mentioning the 40th anniversary of G.I. Joe's in a couple of years. Are they going to go back and redo these characters in more classic looks? Or I'm just quitting altogether. I'm I can't take it.
Yeah. It's I'm down for all of that. Stalker, Storm Shadow, yes. Vietnam era Snake Eyes and crew. I don't know, maybe.
If it's cool,
I can't imagine. So I mean, we'll see with the next movie, but I can't imagine going forward that G.I. Joe, unless they're shooting a period piece, is going to be tied to the Vietnam War anymore, right? Like it wasn't in the last.
It's like Iron Man. They had to move the setting up to a more modern.
Mm-hmm. Peter Parker's not a photographer anymore. He's a web designer.
Right.
That stuff.
You can't date it.
Yeah, exactly. O-rings. I think O-rings are dead. Gaposaurus. Sorry. I don't think that's coming back. Although, I mean, Gentle Giant did theirs.
Gentle Giant.
Didn't Gentle Giant do the jumbo G.I. Joes?
See, I've never messed with one of those. I've seen them, and a friend of mine does Star Wars ones, but they stay on the card.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the G.I. Joes actually are O-ringed. I could be wrong. I don't, unfortunately. I never grabbed one, so I don't know for sure.
I'm sure Snake Eyes isn't cheap, or any of the ones I want.
Yeah. Torpedo's on my short list, just because that was a character that it was one of the first probably 5 G.I. Joe figures I got. Honestly, the first G.I. Joe figure I ever bought with my own money was Spirit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You mentioned Torpedo, and I've been watching the episodes, and the first time he shows up on the cartoon, I can't remember who's in charge of that mission, but he goes, "Good to see you, Pedo." I'm thinking, oh, awesome. That's more.
Yeah. No.
I think the first toy I bought with my own money was what's the green motorcycle on Mask? I keep asking these names. Condor. Yeah.
Condor with Brad Turner.
That was.
Yeah, my brother had, the Mobat, the Wolverine, he had the Vamp. He got really into G.I. Joe. And the first time I had a couple of bucks, I was like, oh, this one comes with a bird. I'm going to get him.
Do you see them doing Spirit in the new line? I mean,
I don't think he's going to be top 5 waves.
Yeah.
But it's long enough. I could see them doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see them doing a Pets wave, throw out Mutt and Junkyard and Crocmaster, and anybody who came with an animal, throw them in there.
Right. Quick Kick and Shipwreck. He's got a pet.
Yeah. Polly.
Yeah.
Somebody
There's a lot of animals.
Yeah. Oh no, there's a ton of animals. Yeah. Voltar, was that his name? Comes with a vulture.
Yeah. I had forgotten Mutt actually growls and stuff, and Junkyard was the more calm of the two.
Exactly. Yeah.
You mentioned that the Sigma 6 line actually did have some vehicles.
That's true. Sigma 6, it mentioned Sigma 6 did have vehicles. That's true. That was a much larger scale. Those figures are 7-8 inches, so there were some vehicles in there. Small vehicles.
I remember those I don't remember the vehicles, but I remember those figures, and I remember a lot of the. But like I said, once I went 6-inch in 2002, I dropped all my Star Wars stuff, and as cool as the 25th anniversary G.I. Joes, as cool as those looked, I didn't jump in.
I held off for a long time, and then when they got to version 2 Snake Eyes, there's sort of like the first, maybe year of those figures. Some of them are real rough, and they don't hold up now. Like the very first version 2 Snake Eyes that's in 25th anniversary is really not a good figure. It's the proportions are weird. He's skinny. His head is too small. But when they did the sort of second versions of some of those and the Hall of Fame ones that were only available at like the specialty retailers and stuff, those versions really, that's when I jumped in, and then of course couldn't help myself and had to go rebuy even the crappy ones.
Because you got to have them all. I mean,
that was, I was like, someday I may need to compare these two, and I need to make sure I have the one I don't like as well.
Or take parts from this one but give it to this one, or back and forth.
Yeah,
exactly. That's another reason I'm so excited about this new line. I mean, I feel like I've waited. I didn't know what 6-inch was before that. I didn't have Joe's as a kid, but when I went 6-inch and saw all the 3 3/4 stuff, I thought that would be cool to be in 6-inch. And now, 10 years, 15 years later, yay!
So what do you think? Do you think the market has pushed towards 6 inches, or do you think that is something that's driven by the manufacturers?
I don't know. That's a hard call. I mean, I have to think that Hasbro has numbers And they've already went through this with Star Wars going to 6-inch, and kind of experimenting and running both lines simultaneously, and then finally deciding to go with 6-inch, because at several San Diego's they were like, the 6-inch just outsells the 3 3/4 inch. And I don't know if that's because I don't pay attention to 3 3/4 inch. I don't know what they're offering there. If it's, rehashes or the figures aren't up to par with the rest or something. I just know that
I gotta believe that a couple things happened there. One, for me as a collector, I absolutely wanted larger figures. I wanted 6-inch figures. McFarlane changed the game and pushed everything bigger back in the day. Toy Biz, the 90s Toy Biz stuff, that was what was pretty much standard at that point. Kenner Aliens, Kenner Predator, those kinds of figures, Toy Biz. And then McFarlane came out with big figures and detail and paint apps and all that stuff. They didn't have great articulation, but that's what the market was. And I feel like since then, 6-inch started to become the standard. On top of that, as Star Wars came back, Power of the Force in 95, and then through the release of the prequels and stuff, every character who could possibly exist got made over and over and over and over and over. And I just think most people were just done with it. Like we were just talking about, like, how many different versions of Bespin Luke could possibly exist.
Right. And I don't know, even all the import companies have went 6-inch and above. And I saw numbers the other day that Bandai outsells Hasbro in the worldwide market, like $60 billion or something, and then Hasbro's in the 50s. So, I mean, I know the collectors are there. During that Fan First Friday last week, all the comments were, where's 3 3/4 inch? Where's, but it's hard to say, especially when we're so spoiled at the moment.
Yeah. I personally, to me, having watched it get to this point, from picking up action figures in the early 80s as a kid, through the 90s, through the early 2000s to now, that's just been the logical progression of the figures. It's less about, again, it's more about adult collectors. It's less about the vehicles and the play sets and those types of things. And honestly, if 6-inch figures, if Black Series, when it was released in 2013, if no one bought that first wave, they would have gone right back to 4-inch.
Yeah. And probably still would have been selling it today.
Yep. But that's where the market went. And yes, Hasbro sort of took over most of the action figure market since they have the biggest brands that are out there. But that's what the buyers want,
Yeah. And I hate to even say majority of buyers. It's just because I know there's all kinds of 3 3/4 inch collectors out there. But are they getting... It's so hard without going, you had 40 years of 3 3/4 inch. But I can't say Hasbro's not going to try to do another 3 3/4 inch line with G.I. Joe, though, being how that scale's always been with that property.
Yeah, and there are plenty of indies out there that are doing very well with 4-inch scale stuff. Boss Fight Studios, Chicken Fried Toys, Hero Toys. All these guys are living. Zika Toys, Super 7 with Reaction. There's plenty of 4-inch scale stuff out there, just not Star Wars and G.I. Joe.
Right. Are they?
Do you think it's possible that Super 7 could grab a G.I. Joe license?
I don't think Hasbro, because was it Jazzwares? Everybody was talking about having the G.I. Joe license and that they might do the 3 3/4 inch, and it wasn't that.
Yeah, no, it was accessories.
Yeah. I don't know if Hasbro would let go of, I don't know, anything action figure.
Because I think, doesn't Super 7 have like glasses, like literal like drinking glasses, G.I. Joe and stuff like that?
I believe so. So they may have some kind of, like, you can only make this, but no action figures. Because I really think Hasbro, I don't think Bandai can sell Star Wars in the US for some reason, and it may be because of Hasbro's deal.
I would assume that that's the case. Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like they have a very tight grip on stuff like that.
I do agree with Erwin Azucena in chat here. It would be really neat to be able to see other companies like NECA take on a license like Star Wars.
Yeah, or Mezco. That's a completely, that might fall into that license because it has actual clothing. Not that I want to buy another line of Star Wars figures.
Well, you know,
Because
hopefully Hasbro took a look at that. Was it Hyperreal? They took their established Hyperreal and were like,
Because I've seen some complaints. Did the Luke come out with a rubber suit instead of cloth?
Yeah. Was it supposed to be cloth from the beginning?
I don't know. That's what people are saying because I was trying to ignore it as much as possible because I didn't want to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I saw the Vader at GameStop one time and it looked cool, but
yeah, I grabbed the Disney store had those like 10-inch or 12-inch, whatever they were, figures, and they got clearanced at one point. They were like $10 a piece. I think I was at like a toy show or something, and I grabbed Vader, Krennic, Jyn Erso, and the Death Trooper, and those were really, really nice figures. So to see what kind of articulation they had and how good they looked at those prices, and even I think originally they were like $30. To then see this Hyperreal that was like 50, 80, what were they?
yeah, but did they have the metal skeleton under the rubber body or?
No, just standard like 12-inch figure, bodies and articulation, and they were perfect. They were perfectly fine. I didn't need Hyperreal.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean, though. The Hyperreal has the skeleton, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. And such an odd scale. What are you going to put those with?
I'll never understand that approach of everybody trying to pull the market to their scale. What are you doing?
Yeah, just fit it in.
Like, I get that, Diamond Select does a lot of stuff that's like, 7-8 inches, whatever that standard scale is, because somebody else actually has the 6-inch license. So you want to do Spider-Man, you can do Spider-Man, you just can't make him 6 inches tall. And that's the whole hook.
And I think Diamond Select's even locked into a certain number of figures a year that they can't make over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I can't remember the number, but it's not very many.
Yeah. Chat wants to see movie realization continue. This person said, Yachts 6417, Hasbro should do a Metal Gear Solid. I wouldn't mind if McFarlane revisited Metal Gear Solid.
I wonder who has that license now at this point.
Who knows? Is there even an active game right now?
I don't think so. I can't remember all the background stuff there.
I know you have that that mega scale. You have Optimus and Megatron?
Yes.
Did Soundwave, did that ever come out?
No, I don't think they have the license anymore. I think they got to the prototype stage with Soundwave and then kind of announced, we're not making it anymore.
Thank goodness.
What?
Thank goodness, because that was going to be the one that was going to make me have to get into the line. If I got Soundwave, I was going to have to go back and get Optimus and Megatron. So if that line's dead, I'm good.
Don't have to worry about it. And I'm good with Optimus and Megatron, and I have Nemesis too that I have somewhere. It's in the boxes. Yeah, Soundwave would have made me want Bumblebee, and then it's just an avalanche from there.
Yeah, no, I was there's certain lines that you close your eyes and you say, I'm just not getting into it. Megascale, those were that, and Hyperreal. I saw that Vader and I was like, it doesn't matter. I don't care who they make. I'm not getting into it. Please don't make Boba.
But Hyperreal, yeah, exactly. But Hyperreal didn't fit with anything. This Optimus and Megatron kind of fit into your 6-inch stuff.
Yeah, well, especially 4-inch too, right? I think
better.
you posted a picture of Snake Eyes sitting on Optimus's shoulder. Yeah,
Like, it makes him look huge.
It's like, you son of a! I don't want to buy an Optimus.
Well, hell, I think those. But if you're, I don't know, they're about the same price as Masterpiece for twice the plastic, or more than twice the size.
Yeah.
So I thought instead of Masterpiece, I'll go over there.
I appreciate things like Earthrise Optimus being so good that I don't feel like I need to worry about having Masterpiece anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
For me and for the scale of my collection.
And how deep they've already gone in that line. Masterpiece, to get to that point, you have to spend thousands of dollars.
For the whole line, yeah.
Yeah, for the whole line.
Absolutely. Let's see what else we got here. We got about we're gonna go till 9 o'clock here. We got 10 more minutes. Let's see what we got in chat.
Okay.
Anything we can hit real quick here. I brought up the mega scale transformers because again, Erwin here, as you've seen, mentions mentioned the company 3A, and that's a company that I'm just like, don't look, don't don't read anything.
Because man, I love me some non-transforming Transformers, and people hate me for it.
That Bumblebee movie Optimus though,
Yeah,
is pretty good.
that's amazing.
Blitzwing, they did the Blitzwing, right?
They did a Blitzwing, and I think is Bumblebee out yet in that same scale, or there was another one coming up. But yeah,
too good.
they need to do a Soundwave.
No, they don't. Well, I think somebody was doing. I don't know if it was Sideshow. Somebody did is releasing a Bumblebee movie Soundwave statue, and I was like, oh my god, it's a statue. I don't collect statues.
Because I think one of the third parties just announced a Masterpiece scale Soundwave.
Yeah,
that looks pretty much just like the cartoon.
Yup. Where'd you get your shirt, Robo?
This was actually sent to me. It's not a shirt manufacturer or anything. It's just a dude did a custom job on a shirt and sent it along. And I thought, ooh, Mandalorian.
Any interest in the Defenders of the Earth from NECA coming out next year, potentially?
They look like cool figures. I mean, I've messed with the super... I hate to say this because everybody loves them, but the Batman and Superman, I like them. I like the look. And they're okay. They're not my favorite figures in the collection. So all those characters being based on that same body, just to have those characters on the shelf, probably.
Yeah. So are your complaints with the characters or your complaints with the body itself?
The body itself. I think it's kind of over-muscled.
It is very muscly.
Yeah. And I think it gets in the way of itself.
I agree. That's, one of my number one pet peeves with all action figures right now is the inability to put your damn arms down.
Yeah.
Yes, we've gotten to a point where we've got casual hands, relaxed hands. You can get enough of a little bit of a tilt in the hips to be able to pose them so that they are standing like a normal human might stand with their weight distributed off a little bit. But when they just can't put their arms down,
yeah,
and every single Power Rangers Lightning Collection figure, all these Marvel Legends and stuff, it's like, just shave a little bit out of that torso for me. Like,
that and not enough companies given good tilt to the head. I mean, if I can turn the head, but it's stuck like this, it doesn't really. It needs full range again, like a little line called G.I. Joe.
But I'm excited for those Defenders of the Earth. The show, I watched it when it was on back in the day. We did a video about it not too long ago. Flash Gordon, Phantom, cool classic characters, but as an action figure collector, I just thought they looked like cool figures, and was totally down with saying like, okay, these guys can hang out with my NECA Justice League.
I know of the characters, but I don't think I've ever seen that show.
It's different. It is certainly different, but worth checking out for sure.
Yeah.
Mega Constructs, Radical Rescue talks about Mega Constructs. I don't know how much further Mega Constructs is going. Like, I don't know if they're going to keep doing He-Man stuff or.
And even when they did, it was so hard to find. Like one Walmart at the other end of town may get some and never see any anywhere else.
Yeah. No, I was thankful that somebody sent me Scareglow because I never saw him, and I constantly looked for Scareglow. I never even saw that wave anywhere.
Well, whatever wave had the Futurama Fry and Bender, I saw it once at a little Walmart in New Mexico. Never again. Never local. So hard to find.
Let's see. It's tough because I know that I can pre-order everything.
Yeah.
I want to go out. I want to see it in the store. And a lot of stuff, I want the option to say no. Like I want to have a reason to not buy that thing to not pick it up and add it to my collection. Oh, it doesn't look as good in person as I thought it did in the photos, so I'm glad I didn't pre-order it and already commit. Yeah, the money's gone, and I hate the idea of spending money up front or budgeting money up front and then having to wait. If that money's being taken out of my budget, I want the figure now.
Well, I don't know. I've gotten kind of used to pay for it now and forget about it. And then when I get a shipping notice, it's like, yay, surprise toy, especially like Mayfix.
So that's how I sort of had to adjust to not being able to go to stores now. I was like, okay, I need to get the schedule going so that I have at least something coming in every week.
Right. It's hard to do because you never know when they're going to ship, especially now. I'm afraid we're about to run into a dry spell because of how the factories were closed at the end of February, 1st of March. Yep. I'm grabbing everything I can now.
Yeah, no, it's that's why I was like, okay, Todd, if you think you can pull the Spawn off in November, I hope you got it under control. We'll see.
Yeah, but what are we going to do all summer? I think San Diego is going to try to do some kind of online thing with the.
I hope so. That's too bad. It would have been my. I was planning to go to San Diego this year. That would have been my first time out, and I think we talked about that on the chat last time you were on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you getting the what are they calling them? Legacy, not Legacy. The new Masters of the Universe.
No. I got that He-Man and Prince Adam set from San Diego. Was it last year? And it's a neat little thing. It's kind of it's nostalgic while updated, but I have all the well, not all the classics. I have all the classics I want, so I'm good on He-Man, I think.
Did you get the whole Taskmaster wave, movie Taskmaster wave?
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. My Walmart has been. I'll go for food, and you have to cruise through toys, And they've had the Gamerverse wave, they've had the Black Widow wave, they had the retro Ghostbusters, they had the Mystery Machine. It's been insane how stocked my Walmart has been in the past month or two.
Yeah, it's. That's been I've seen that sentiment echoed across social media. Walmart to get some snacks and supplies, bought the whole wave, Yeah,
it was just sitting there. They had a whole Black Widow end cap top situation.
Yep. Exactly.
And I like the look of it. I just haven't got to it. In my brain, I can't open anything until I'm reviewing it. I'm to that point in my life.
I gotcha. Well, you don't want to you forget what your immediate reaction to something. You don't want to miss that point.
Yeah.
For me, that Taskmaster, I thought, any Taskmaster figure that gets released, I'm going to buy it. Skull mask, bow, shield, sword. I'm good. Let's get it. Cape, whatever. And then I saw the design and I was like, I don't love that design, but I could be sold on it if I like it in the movie. So I haven't seen the movie, so I can't commit to the figure. And
we're not going to see the movie for a while. I feel like, this wave may suffer because of that. Yeah. It's not riding the hype of the movie. But I've talked myself into that design by going, well, it's kind of the Udon design, but updated with the classic colors of orange, white, and blue. Okay, I'm good.
All right, we're gonna close it on this question from IMAX 7065. Does anyone know Robo's real name?
I'm sure people do.
Let me get that one for you, Robo. Robo don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows. It's gotten to the point where if my own family wants to get my attention, they'll call me Robo.
Oh, really?
And my real name sounds weird. I don't know why. I was at a local theater before all this happened, and a guy wandered across behind the counter. And he goes, Robo? And I was with my mom, and even my mom goes, and I'm Robo's mom. I was like, oh. But my real name is Brian. But you yell out Brian in a convention, and there's like 5 guys. Even in my backwoods high school Spanish class, there was 3 Brians in a row. So
he's more Robo now than man.
That's right. We can rebuild him. See, Yokai knew.
Yeah, there it is.
But he knew me before all this.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the live stream again tonight, Robo. Please, if you are not already checking out Fwoosh, I gotta imagine most of the people here are already big fans of the show and already watch you for your news and your reviews and all of that stuff.
Oh, but I mean, I don't know what to say for that.
We'll plug your other social media. Make sure you're following him on Instagram if you're not already.
Yeah, on Instagram, I have my personal account, then I have Fwoosh account. So it's if you search Fwoosh and Robo, you're going to run into me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and
Patreon.
Then Patreon, YouTube, on the web, Fwoosh.com.
Hit it all, and hit ours too while you're at it. If you're not on our Patreon, check us out. Patreon.com/toygalaxy. Become a channel member here on YouTube. Thank you very much for everybody who hung out with us, asked questions, made donations, all that stuff. We'll do this again real soon. Thank you. Later.
Bye.